Eighth grade. Well, welcome back to the fourth week of distant learning, and I hope you guys are doing well and that you had a great 3-day weekend. Today, I just want to go over what we've been working on real quick, and also another assignment that you're going to be working on this week. So the first thing is I do want to talk about grading because a couple of you have asked me about that, and so under week 2, I actually posted a video and explains it deeper than what I'm about to explain right now. But if you go to the 2-minute mark and 2-minute and 55-second mark, you're going to hear me explain it a little bit more slowly. But just to recap, what I'm doing is a credit versus a TX. So you get you're temporarily excused from the assignment, but I hope that you will go back and work on it. So you're going to see 0 across the board, whether you've been doing the work or whether you have not been doing the work. And then at the very end of fourth quarter, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up the projects that you've done. So that's how I'm keeping track right now. So I'm just going to count all the credits that you got, and I'll add that as your percentage to your third quarter grade. So if you have questions about that or you're not sure, please check Aries to see if you got credit for your assignment, and then you can start tallying up how many you got. And then if you have a TX and you submit something, let me know, email me so I can go back and change it so that you'll get your fair grade at the end. But let's say you have an 85% right now and you have a B, right? And then you end up doing all 6 of the assignments, then you'll get a 91% added, or it will be added to your third quarter grade. So anyways, not 91% will be added to your grade, but what I'm saying is that with the 85 plus the 6% that you do, then that will be 91. So anyways, if you're borderline, that's what these orange boxes help me determine. So if I saw that you were really trying and it's just like the grade did not meet it, so you're like on the borderline 89%, and that's going to help you push it up even just a little bit there. Okay, so let me know if you have questions with that, but hopefully that will explain it a little bit better. So today I want to talk about, oh wait, one other thing, the Google form. So you only have to fill it out 1 time a week now. So in the past I had you fill this out 2 times a week. So what you're going to see on Aries is a section if you got the code word correct, and if you also just checked in, which means you just wrote your name, at least did the period number, and if you have any questions, this is optional right here. But anyways, the code word has to be correct so that I can give you credit for that section in Aries. So the code word this week is history, and you're going to need that a little bit later. Okay, so I'm going to leave that. So as we were talking about history, so I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but that was one of my subjects that I was very interested in, and before getting this computer position, I really thought I was going to teach either elementary or at least a history class, but I've been very lucky to be teaching computers. But anyways, the point is, I really enjoy going back and learning about people's past and learning about why they are and who they are. And so anyways, I'm going to read this to you so that you guys will understand the assignment for this week, and then show you a preview of what we're doing with this assignment to help us with next week's assignment. So first person storytelling project. Directions. First, you're going to pick a time period in history that interests you. So some of you are very interested in US history, some of you are very interested in world history. So I'm going to let you decide what time period and where and which location you want. Then you are going to pick a person that you've researched that risked their lives for survival or for the common good, that you can make a historical fiction narrative. So I want it to be a little mix of facts versus fiction. So there are certain things that we can read about, but we can't really know exactly what that person was feeling. So those are the parts you're going to have to kind of add and make the fiction part to it. So 3, it says you will type 1 paragraph. So I'm looking for 6 to 8 sentences of a first person historical fiction narrative. So first person means I was feeling scared. I live here or I live there. So that's what I'm looking for, as if you're really the person who's speaking to us. And then again, historical fiction, I already mentioned that. It does have to relate to history, but there is going to be parts of it that you're not really sure of every fact. So you're going to have to make some of it up, but it has to be a little bit more on the realistic fiction side. And then you're also going to be mixing facts versus fiction together. Okay, so I feel like hopefully you're pretty clear about that, that it's mixing facts with fiction to make this story up. And then next week, you're going to record your voice and you're going to be adding images as you read your story. And we'll create that through WeVideo. So we'll go back to the video making next week. So when it comes to video making, we've kind of skipped a lot of these steps because of time and just because of our situation. But really what it comes down to is that you have to have somewhat of a plan. So you either have to make a storyboard or people read off a script, and you have to kind of be able to lead others or lead yourself in the direction that you're going. And that's a little bit of what we're practicing this week. So instead of like being a little camera shy or stumbling upon your words, which I'm doing because right now I'm just recording like one time through, I haven't rehearsed it, right? So what we want to do is we want to prevent that, and one way to do that is just write things down. So some ideas for you, I put them here. I personally have been very interested in World War II in the past. I know some of you in your English class were starting to read about the Holocaust, stories about that, or maybe you learned about it in the past already and that interests you. But I know it can be really deep, and I don't know how deep you want to go right now. But anyways, I found this cool website that you can check out, and they have like a whole list of people and their stories. They even divide it by children, women, and men. For me personally, it doesn't matter if you're a girl and you want to read a guy's part, or if you're a guy and you want to pretend that you've learned about a woman and you want to read her part, that's fine too. Gender doesn't have to equal to anything there. It's just more about your interests, what type of story you thought was fascinating to share with us. And then another idea that I thought about, I know that you guys have learned about the Underground Railroad. So again, I thought this website was helpful to kind of put your story together. So I thought these questions were good. So tell me about your life as a slave. Where did you live? What kinds of work did you do? So as you're creating your story, you want to ask yourself some of these questions, and then maybe that will help you write it. But even with the Underground Railroad, some of you could be a conductor. That means you help people escape, or maybe you were one of the slaves that had to escape. So that's where this comes in, where it says for the common good. You could have been a person fighting to help somebody, even if you weren't the person necessarily struggling through whatever it was that they were struggling through. Now, some of these ideas I know can be pretty intense, but if you have another idea or another time in history that really stands out to you that you would like to research more about and share your perspective from that person's point of view, I'm very open to that. So, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be writing your paragraph on a Google Doc, and that will be due this Friday into the Google Classroom. And if you want to start to gather some photos to go with your story, that would be for you to just be prepared for next week. But what I just want is your Google Doc with your 6 to 8 sentences in a first person historical fiction point of view. Okay, so that's only for this week. Hopefully, it won't be too much and it'll be doable. And then here's a preview for next week. So once you write your script this week, I'm going to show you how to kind of piece it together.
My name is Zelda Prakaska. I live in Snowsnik, Poland, and my father co-owns a chocolate and candy factory. The area that I lived in was a city in the coal mining region of Poland. It was September 9th, 1939, when the Germans came to Snowsnik.
Okay, so there's an example of a little bit of what's to come, but your storytelling, I want you to be creative with it. I don't want you to feel like you have to copy this exact example. What I do like about it is that this person gave out the dates of when it took place. So in the year of 1939, or it took place in Poland. So he's not making up some random country or some random city, not making up dates that don't match this time period. He's not saying that it's taking place in 1963, right? It would have been over by then. So that's where I'm looking for the historical fact. And then the fiction part is he'll probably say how he was feeling or how they escaped. Maybe he knows some details, but not every detail. And that's where you're going to have to imagine what happened during those times. So, yeah, try to have fun, try to be creative with that. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Today's a short video, but again, hopefully, if it doesn't make sense, you'll feel confident to email me and I'll explain it better. But hopefully, it's also self-explanatory to some degree there. All right. Well, I hope you guys are doing well. I can't wait till I see your videos and your scripts, and email me if you need anything. See you guys.